Hey, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Strategies with Ken McElroy. I'm happy to have Kevin Highmark on. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ken.
So Kevin is a partner with Capital Fund. That's Capital Fund with the number one, not spelled out one, number one. And he's here to talk about why you don't need your own money. Now, this is a big topic because this is my number one topic, Kevin. Everybody asks this question. I didn't realize until later that I didn't need my own money to do deals. Right?
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's really so it's kind of a mind shift for people. A lot of times people think, okay, first I need the courage, then I need I need the money, and then I need the property, but it's not true.
No.
It's actually not in that order at all, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're talking about. People understanding different sources of capital and how they can really expand their real estate investment strategy is huge.
You know, when you own a home, they're all over you on credit score. They're all over you. Give me your W-2s. You know, how are you going to qualify for this loan? You guys look at the asset, right? The collateral. So you might have horrible credit. What you guys are looking for to get paid back on is the actual collateral. It's a very different scenario, right?
Yes, exactly. And actually, you know, there are hard money lenders out there that lend on owner-occupied residential homes. So properties where if you and your wife were going to go purchase a home, you'd need a loan to do so. There are some situations where you can get a hard money loan, or at least lenders call themselves hard money lenders. And really, essentially, all that means is it's coming from a private source of capital, and they're using their own underwriting strategies, but they still have to conform to all of the federally regulated steps in order to originate a owner-occupied residential loan. We chose a different strategy. We didn't want to jump through all those hoops to make those loans, and we wanted to work with investors. So that's why when we originate these hard money loans, we just conform to our own underwriting strategies, which, like we're talking about, is just the value of the asset. Yep. So we don't need to verify the ability to repay. We don't need to look at income, like I mentioned, no pay stubs, nothing like that.
Yeah. So guys, think about this. They're lending against the asset you're trying to buy. They're concerned, obviously. They want to make sure that you could perform. But at the end of the day, if you don't, they take back the asset and they get paid back on the loan. That's how everyone gets paid back. The property, the hard asset, is actually what pays everyone back every single time.
And what does a traditional bank do if you default on a loan?
They take back.
They're taking back the property.
Right.
So we're doing the exact same thing, except for we can close in 24 hours. We can lend on properties that need rehab. We can lend on different types of assets. We don't just do residential. That's our primary focus, but multifamily, ground-up construction, commercial, land development, we do look at all different types of projects.
So, guys, this is why you don't need your own money. What you need is an asset, and that's what they lend against. So so hopefully you can cross that off your list and stop making excuses around that one.
So one thing that we're really starting to see also, which might be great for your audience, is over the last 2 years, we're working with a lot of borrowers who are taking on their first project, or they're starting to scale a little bit.
Yep.
They did 1 or 2 properties in 2019. Picked up 2 or 3 properties in 2020, 2021. They said, hey, maybe I can do this thing full time. Now they're doing 6 to 7 properties. In 2022, we've already had discussions with them, and they're looking to really scale their operations.
Yeah. So,
and they're doing this using 10%, on average, our interest rate's about 10% hard money. And where most people get hung up is, well, how can you make any money if you're paying 10%?
Yeah.
What's the alternative?
OPM, guys. It's all OPM. It's just how much you're paying.
Exactly. Because if you go and you string a group of 5 people together to go in on this project, and you're sourcing them and they're investors, their dollars are equity right alongside yours, you're paying a lot more than 10% to them. Right? You don't get to keep much of the upside on the back end.
It's all just money that's being lent out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
At different rates with different terms. Basically, it's just money. So it either falls into 2 buckets. Bucket 1 is equity. Bucket 2 is debt. The question is how much you pay for it, and we call it the cost of capital, right?
Exactly.
That's it. So if I've got let's say I'm borrowing my equity at 6. Let's say my equity, I said, and I'm borrowing my debt at, let's say, 4. My blended cost of capital, if they were equal, would be 5. Okay, so you have to look at the 2 buckets. You have to look at debt, and you have to look at equity, and you have to look at your blended cost of capital. The difference with what Kevin does is his is typically shorter term, right?
Yep.
So it's not really fair to take hard money and figure it out over a 30-year period, because you don't actually have that cost of capital for more than, say, a year or two, right?
On average, our loans are paying off in 5 months right now.
There you go. So when you think of the number, it sounds like, wow, why would I do that? You got to think of the term. You have to put that very important piece in. When I'm looking at my cost of capital, I'm looking at 20, 30-year deals, right?
Right.
It's a big, big difference, another big mind shift. So this is a way for you to get property. This is a way for you to do what you want to do, and then figure out what you're going to do with it. Maybe that's to sell it. Maybe that's to keep it. Maybe that's to put long-term debt on it. It doesn't matter, but this is a way for you to get into the game, right?
Yeah, and that's a good point. It's not just, I've mentioned we look at different types of assets. It's not just fix and flippers that we work with. We help borrowers lock down plenty of $5 to $10 million Class C multifamily properties where they don't want to go out and raise a bunch of investor dollars, because they're going to have to pay their investors, a 15 to 20% yield if it's a good deal, in this market segment. But they need to put dollars into the rehab, and they can't go get a bank loan. And the property's not cash flowing, right? Like you said, a property that's been neglected, it's not doesn't have a high occupancy rate, so they need to put some work into the deal. And that's where we come in. We can do rehab loans as well, ground up construction. So, and like you said, it's a short amount of time. We don't have any prepayment penalties on our loans.
I was going to bring that up.
It's by design.
So this is a sneaky little secret.
Yeah.
Guys, when I do a deal, let's say a traditional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac deal, it comes with a price. And that price is called yield maintenance or prepayment. And it's very, very typical for me to have a $2, $3, $4, $5 million exit fee, prepayment fee on some of the deals I'm doing. You guys don't have this, right?
That's right. And oftentimes, if the intent is to buy, rehab, and sell this property as quickly as possible, well, if you have a prepayment penalty with one of these larger institutions, the buyer, when you go around and flip that property, they're gonna have to eat that cost, which is gonna just eat into your profits.
That's
so
right.
It might even be a wash. If our interest rate may be higher, but if you're holding that loan for 6 to 8 months and you don't have that prepayment penalty, it makes your property more marketable too.
Let's say somebody's going to a hard money lender, because this is an area that I know you're pretty good at. What would they be looking for? What should they be looking for? And what can our listeners ask before they make that next step?
Where do you get your money? So this is by far the most important thing that I've seen, because we will get into interest rates and fees and what you can expect in that regard. But the most important thing is reliability. And the main factor that can impact a hard money lender's reliability is where they're getting their capital.
OPM again.
Yes, exactly. So we can give you our money, but we're getting our money somewhere too.
Yep.
The place that we're getting our money is from our own fund. And we raise, Ken, as you know, we raise our money from private wealthy individuals, almost exclusively.
Yep.
We do have debt, which allows us to be more flexible and keep yields to our investors, high. But primarily, our source of capital is wealthy individuals who give us full discretion over these funds.
Yeah.
So we have a fund set up. It's ready to go. The request comes in. We underwrite that property. We get terms back usually the same day, if not less than 24 hours. And because we have confidence over the fact that we're making the right decisions on these loans, we have full discretion over those funds. We can fund the deal. So we truly do fund in 24 hours. In fact, we got started back in 2009 funding trustee sale deals, which here in Arizona, you bring a $10,000 cashier's check, you deposit it if you get the winning bid receipt, and you have 24 hours to get the rest of the funds. So since day one, we had to be able to fund deals in 24 hours. So we had to set up a model that allowed us to do so.
So awesome talk, Kevin. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you've got a real estate guide. So how do they find it? How do they find you? How do they get more information?
Yes. So go to capitalfund1, numerical1.com/Ken McElroy. That'll get you access to the real estate guide that we're talking about. So help you assess on what your strategy is and how you can best go about it. But go to our main website, capitalfund1.com. There's a bunch of landing pages and links and information and blogs and everything that you need to really understand hard money. And then, of course, contact information
Yes, Kevin, thank you. This is a great topic on why you don't need your own money. You definitely need money to make money, but it does not have to be your own. So, Kevin,
Yeah,
thanks,
I like
buddy.
that. Thanks, Cam.
See ya.